Wow, moved by the impassioned words from my friend and colleague. Today is a momentous day for liberty, for freedom, and for energy to drive betterment of your lives. And there is no better place to do this than right here in the heartland, the industrial capital of our country. I'm thrilled and honored to be here. And I'm here, and Administrator Zeldin is here, only because American people decided firmly in favor of common sense, to bring back common sense to Washington, and they overwhelmingly elected President Trump to do that. And he takes that mission with a passion. He does not back down from any challenge, any threat to that. He believes in the American dream, and we're here to restore the American dream. It's deeply personal for me. I found out soon after I turned 13 that I was type 1 diabetic. If I was born any generation, except for the last few generations, that meant I didn't get a 14th birthday party. 13 was all I got. But in the modern world today, that's a condition that you live with. I'm gonna die of old age. And it's increasingly easy to do, to live with it, because of the technologies, the innovation, and the energy that make the modern world possible. I think two things drove the rise of the modern world. It's only a few generations ago, human life expectancy was 30 years globally. Today it's 73. 90% of people lived in dire poverty. They didn't grow to the same size we are because they were in starvation. Two things changed the world. The growth of human liberty, bottom-up social organization. We ended slavery. Women were enfranchised. Governments didn't control everything and people were free. And they built this awesome world. The other piece was energy, the explosion in available energy from coal, oil, and natural gas. And then those energy sources in turn enabled other energy sources like nuclear, hydroelectric, wind, solar, everything else are derivative from hydrocarbons. Liberty and energy matter. When I heard the endangerment finding announcement 17 years ago, that they had found, as someone who's already involved in the climate discussion, was already involved in the energy world, clearly they didn't look at the data, they didn't understand climate change, they didn't appreciate how energy works. But this ruling happened, and it happened because they couldn't do it through the House and the Senate and the presidency, the normal lawmaking process. They found a backdoor way to take away your freedom and to make your life more expensive and shrink your life opportunities. That's what they did, and that's what they've been doing for 17 years. We are here today, and so when Administrator Zeldin and I discussed this, we said we got to look at this thoughtfully and factually. We're not power-hungry people who want to control American lives. We want to set them free, and we want to follow the law and the institutions established by our awesome, truly awesome founding fathers of this country. And we set out. I reached out as someone who'd been in the climate world for 20 plus years. I reached out to 5 scientists. I had many more on my list, but the first 5 all said yes. I said, this is what I want you to do. I know you have worked in this field your career. You're smart, you're accomplished, and you have not been cowed by the politics of climate change. You followed the data. You all have different views, but you follow the data and follow the facts. That's what America is going to do, and we need your help. And I initiated a study to create a report that's released today. It's on the DOE website. You'll see press releases about it. And it was to be an honest, credible, data and fact-driven assessment of climate change. That report went through some internal peer review at the Department of Energy and the national labs. Now the public is open to engage in a thoughtful dialogue about what is climate change. It is a real physical phenomenon. It's worthy of study. It's worthy of even some action. But what we have done instead is nothing related to the actual science of climate change or pragmatic ways to make progress. But this paper is released. I encourage everyone to read it and to engage into this topic. Because whether you're interested in climate change or not, the politics surrounding climate change have shrunk your life possibilities, have put your business here at threat. Can you imagine how much cargo we could transport around the country if you only could use an electric truck? which, by the way, offers roughly zero reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. Electric vehicles are not climate tools, but they're politically popular because rich people like them, so they've been deemed to be climate solutions. We want to get back to science and data and facts. That's the plan of the Trump administration. That's the plan of Administrator Zeldin and I. We're excited to have that dialogue and to engage the American public on it, because the net result of this is going to be a more thoughtful world, a more prosperous world, a more opportunity-rich world. The practical application is going to be lower cost vehicles, lower cost consumer products, lower energy bills, and all the things Americans instinctually want. But that's a process. I'm prejudging my own opinion. We will go through a process with professional review, with the American public review on everything we're trying to do here. I believe today will go down as a momentous day for freedom and liberty in our country, brought to you by President Trump. I'll turn it over now to another leader who has been impassioned and thoughtful in this very issue about American industry and dynamism and common sense on climate change. Former Senator, now Governor, and my friend, Mike Braun.